Eli Vance woke to the gentle hum of the ship's systems. The control room glowed softly with holographic displays, each one projecting star maps, alien schematics, and streams of data that shimmered in the dim light. He rubbed his eyes and sat up, feeling the weight of responsibility settle over him. Last night's discoveries had been astonishing, but he knew there was more to understand. The ship had secrets yet to reveal. He moved through the corridors, noticing that the ship seemed almost alive. Panels adjusted automatically to his presence. The air was clean, filtered, and lightly scented with something he couldn't identify, metallic yet pleasant. His footsteps echoed softly, but there was no emptiness. The vessel seemed aware of him, waiting patiently for him to take the next step. Eli returned to the control room and activated the main terminal. The screen displayed the hidden registry code he had discovered, along with a sequence of logs left by the ship's creators. Each log explained the purpose of the ship and why it had been hidden in the asteroid belt for so long. Eli's heart raced as he read the words. This vessel is a human-oriented research and exploration ship. Its design prioritizes human adaptability, creativity, and problem-solving. The ship trusts humans to use its potential responsibly. It was extraordinary. The ship had been built not as a weapon, not as a transport, but as a bridge between humanity and the galaxy. Eli leaned back in his chair, absorbing the significance. He had always known humans were clever, but reading it in alien terms made it feel real. Some civilization had observed humans for centuries and recognized their potential, and now the ship was in his hands. The first task was simple: learn how to operate the ship fully. But as he explored the controls, Eli realized the ship was unlike any human craft he had ever seen. It could self-repair, adjust its systems for maximum efficiency, and even anticipate potential dangers. Holographic schematics unfolded before him, showing power grids, propulsion systems, and environmental controls. But the most fascinating part was the communication system. It wasn't designed for words. Instead, it used patterns, symbols, and sequences, a language of logic and intuition. Eli experimented, touching panels, aligning symbols, and manipulating sequences. Slowly, the ship responded. Lights flickered, holograms shifted, and a map of nearby star systems appeared, glowing brightly. Among the stars, Eli noticed blinking signals, ships approaching. He froze. Whoever was coming might not understand humans. They might not know the significance of the vessel. Eli had to think fast. He studied the ship's defensive capabilities. They were unusual, not designed to attack but to deter and confuse. Shields could project illusions. Engines could create false signatures, and communication systems could simulate entire fleets. Eli grinned. Humans had always been clever in unexpected ways, and now he would test that cleverness on a cosmic scale. He activated the illusion protocols, weaving together energy fields and holographic projections. The approaching ship's sensors would detect multiple large vessels, giving the impression of a fleet guarding the ship. It was an improvisation, a solution he had devised in minutes, and it worked. The sensors shifted, and the signals from the approaching scouts wavered. The vessel slowed, then veered away. Eli exhaled, smiling at the effectiveness of his unorthodox approach. "This is just like solving one of those old Earth puzzles," he said, laughing quietly. "Only the stakes are bigger." After the danger passed, Eli focused on the ship's interior. It had living quarters, research labs, and even a small artificial garden. Plants thrived under controlled light and atmosphere, a reminder that the ship could sustain life for long periods. He explored every room, fascinated by alien tools that seemed almost intuitive to human hands. Some devices repaired themselves. Others responded to touch or motion. It was as if the ship had been waiting for someone like him. Hours passed, and Eli grew more comfortable in his role. He began planning how to use the ship, not just for exploration, but to showcase human ingenuity. He mapped out possible destinations: resource-rich planets, unexplored systems, and even distant colonies. Each location held the potential for knowledge, innovation, and growth. While working, Eli discovered more hidden logs. These were not technical manuals, but messages from the civilizations that had designed the ship. They expressed admiration for humans' creativity, adaptability, and resilience. Some logs described experiments and observations, but all concluded that humans were uniquely capable of facing challenges. Other species could not. Eli realized why the ship had been hidden. Humans had potential, but it needed to develop naturally without interference. The vessel was a gift, a tool, and a test all in one. Night, or the closest thing to it in the asteroid belt, fell, and Eli leaned against a console staring out at the stars. He felt a strange mixture of pride and humility. Humanity's place in the galaxy was not guaranteed, yet here was evidence that his species had been noticed, valued, and trusted. Suddenly, a new set of signals appeared on the sensors. These were closer than the previous scouts, and they moved with deliberate precision. Eli's pulse quickened. He realized these might be actual travelers, curious or cautious observers. The ship responded automatically, analyzing the signals and projecting data streams across the control room. Eli studied the patterns and smiled. "The ship trusts me," he said quietly. "I just need to trust myself." He began experimenting again, combining alien systems with human intuition. He activated propulsion enhancements, adjusted environmental controls, and created adaptive holographic projections. Each step was a learning experience, but Eli found himself improvising solutions faster than the ship could anticipate. His creativity was a human advantage, just as the logs had promised. As the approaching vessels drew near, Eli prepared the ship for interaction. He didn't know if they were friendly, curious, or cautious. But he had an idea. He would demonstrate human ingenuity. Using the ship's systems, he created an interactive display in space, lights, patterns, and movements that mimicked human problem-solving. The display was intricate, clever, and unexpected. The vessels paused, observing. Their sensors analyzed, interpreted, and recalibrated. Eli held his breath. Slowly, he realized that the display had worked. The ships did not attack, did not retreat, but seemed impressed. The human touch had made a difference. After the encounter, Eli activated more of the ship's hidden functions. The vessel unfolded like a puzzle being solved, revealing laboratories, research arrays, and exploration modules. Every system seemed designed to amplify human creativity. He realized he could take this ship anywhere, teach humans to use it, and showcase humanity's unique strengths to the galaxy. Days passed as Eli explored the ship fully. He learned to integrate alien tools with human technology, creating hybrid systems that exceeded either species' expectations. He repaired sections of the ship that had been dormant for centuries, and in doing so, discovered new methods of energy efficiency, propulsion, and environmental management. During one session, Eli found a storage compartment labeled Human Knowledge Archive. Inside were holographic representations of advanced concepts, simulations, and data designed to accelerate human understanding. The archives were incomplete, meant to be explored, tested, and expanded by human ingenuity. Eli spent hours interacting with them, experimenting and learning. Each success felt like a confirmation of the log's predictions. Humans were capable of greatness when given the right tools and challenges. Eventually, Eli realized the ship could no longer be a simple workshop. It was a platform for exploration, innovation, and diplomacy. Humans could now travel to distant worlds, learn, share, and be recognized for their creativity. The hidden registry code had been more than a label. It was a key to unlocking potential, a bridge to a wider universe. Eli sat in the control room, staring out at the endless stars. He thought of Earth, of the small human colonies scattered across the inner systems, and of the possibilities that lay ahead. Humanity had always survived against odds, adapted to challenges, and solved problems others could not. This ship was proof that those qualities had cosmic significance. He whispered to himself, "We're ready. We've always been ready." And with that, Eli activated the final sequence of the ship. Lights flared, engines purred, and the vessel lifted from its stationary position in the asteroid belt. The stars stretched out ahead, and Eli knew that he was not just traveling through space. He was taking humanity's ingenuity to a galaxy that had long been waiting to recognize it. Somewhere among the stars, the AI's glow pulsed gently, almost like a heartbeat. It had chosen the right human, and together, they would reveal to the universe the value of creativity, resourcefulness, and curiosity, the qualities that made humanity extraordinary. The journey had only just begun. The stars of the galactic capital shimmered like countless jewels scattered across the endless void. The great space station, Orbis Prime, hung in orbit around a neutral star, its vast structure dwarfing even the largest warships of any civilization. Within its gleaming halls, representatives of the Galaxy Council, leaders of the most advanced civilizations in the known universe, prepared to vote on a matter that could decide the future of an entire planet. Earth, a small blue world in a distant spiral arm, had long lived in obscurity. Humans were known to the Council only as a primitive species, struggling to survive on a fragile world beset by natural disasters and resource shortages. Yet, they had requested membership, seeking the protection and cooperation of the galaxy's great civilizations. The Council, however, had their doubts. Ambassador Dr. Elena Reyes, the human representative, stood at the podium in the Great Hall. Her posture was calm, her voice steady. Behind her, Earth's delegation waited, small and modest compared to the grand entourages of other species. Elena knew the Council did not view humanity with respect. They saw humans as weak, vulnerable, and insignificant, but she also knew the truth. Humanity had survived against odds that no other species could endure, and today, she would make them see that. Esteemed members of the Council, Elena began, her voice clear and measured, echoing through the hall. We come from a world often considered fragile, yet it has endured countless storms, extreme climates, and catastrophes. Humanity has thrived not because we are the strongest, but because we adapt. We innovate. We cooperate. We survive. A ripple of whispers passed through the Council chambers. Some aliens looked bored, others openly skeptical. The species that dominated the Council were taller, stronger, or faster than humans. Their lifespans spanned centuries. Their technologies far surpassed anything Earth had achieved. To them, survival was measured in raw power, not ingenuity. Elena continued. Our scientists have unlocked energy sources previously unknown. Our engineers have created vessels capable of traveling through regions of space that many deem uninhabitable. And our people have faced the harshest conditions on our planet, and yet emerged stronger each time. We seek membership not because we demand it, but because we wish to contribute to the galaxy's growth and harmony. A murmur of disapproval swept through the room. Ambassador Clith of the Orcs Dominion, a towering creature with translucent skin that shimmered with internal light, leaned forward. You speak with confidence, human, he said in a voice like grinding metal. Yet your species has no fleet capable of defending itself. Your world could be extinguished by a single solar flare or a passing asteroid. How can you possibly claim to be worthy of Council membership? Elena did not flinch. Our strength is not measured by the size of our fleets, Ambassador Clith, but by our ability to endure, to innovate, and to survive. A single solar flare has not ended us, and it will not. We adapt, we learn, and we overcome. That is our strength. The Orcs Dominion ambassador's eyes narrowed. Survival alone is not enough. The galaxy demands power, control, and influence. Can humans offer that? Elena smiled faintly. Influence comes not from fear or power, but from knowledge and collaboration. We have much to share and much to learn. That is why we are here. The debate continued for hours. Other Council members questioned humanity's intelligence, their diplomacy, and their place in the galactic order. Yet Elena answered each question with patience, clarity, and quiet confidence. Every word she spoke was a reminder that humans were not to be underestimated. Finally, the moment arrived. The Council would vote. Ambassadors cast their holographic ballots, and the results appeared in glowing letters across the central display. Vote outcome: against Earth. A cold silence filled the hall. Elena's expression did not change, but inside, she felt the weight of the decision. Humanity had been dismissed. The vote was unanimous among the major powers, save for a few sympathetic members whose voices were too weak to sway the outcome. As the Council adjourned, whispers filled the corridors. Fragile humans, weaklings. They will not survive long in the galaxy. Elena turned to her delegation and said simply, They have underestimated us. Let's prove them wrong. Back on Earth, the news of the vote spread quickly. Some humans felt disappointment, but many felt a quiet determination. Humanity had survived worse odds. They had faced plagues, wars, natural disasters, and yet they had grown stronger each time. Now the galaxy had doubted them. That doubt would fuel humanity's next chapter. In laboratories, engineers worked tirelessly, designing ships capable of surviving the harshest conditions. Scientists experimented with new energy sources, creating systems that could endure temperatures hotter than a star's surface. and pressures that could crush conventional vessels. Soldiers trained not for combat but for exploration, resilience, and survival in environments that would challenge even the most advanced species. On Earth's harshest landscapes, arid deserts, frozen tundras, and dense jungles, teams of humans conducted field exercises. They tested new suits, vehicles, and survival techniques. Every failure was a lesson. Every setback strengthened their resolve. Humanity was not preparing to fight the galaxy. They were preparing to thrive where others could not. Months passed and the first human exploratory fleet was ready. Sleek angular ships gleamed under Earth's sun, powered by new engines capable of long-range travel and extreme adaptability. Each vessel was a marvel of human ingenuity, designed to explore the galaxy's most dangerous and unclaimed regions. The fleet's mission was simple: explore the void expanse, a cluster of harsh planets and uncharted systems avoided by even the bravest alien explorers. These worlds had extreme gravity, violent storms, corrosive atmospheres, and unpredictable terrain. For humans, they were a challenge and an opportunity. Captain Aidan Cross, a veteran explorer, stood on the bridge of the flagship Endurance. He gazed at the stars beyond the viewport. "This is our chance to show the galaxy what humans can do," he said to his crew. "We're not just surviving. We're going to thrive." The crew nodded, their eyes bright with determination. Among them were engineers, biologists, geologists, and pilots, each chosen for their skill, intelligence, and adaptability. Together, they represented the best of Earth, prepared to face whatever the void expanse could throw at them. The fleet entered the expanse, encountering conditions that tested every skill they possessed. Magnetic storms disabled conventional sensors, forcing the crew to rely on innovative navigation techniques. Acid rains threatened the hulls of their ships, but new shielding technology held firm. Planets with extreme gravity required clever adjustments to landing procedures, which the humans executed with precision. Word of their successes began to spread. Alien traders, smugglers, and isolated colonies whispered rumors of humans operating where no other species dared. Deathworlders, some called them, referring to humanity's ability to survive worlds that would destroy others. Back on Orbis Prime, news of the human fleet's progress reached the Council. Some members dismissed it as exaggeration. Others, however, began to feel unease. Ambassador Clith's previous confidence now wavered. If humans could thrive in the void expanse, perhaps they were not as weak as the Council had believed. Meanwhile, the humans continued their exploration. On a planet with towering crystal forests and oceans of liquid metal, they established a research outpost. They learned to harvest the crystals for energy, and their sensors mapped previously unknown resources. Their success was not due to brute force, but to adaptability, intelligence, and collaboration. Dr. Elena Reyes watched the reports from Earth, a faint smile on her face. The Council had voted against them, dismissing humanity as insignificant. Yet here they were, thriving in places the galaxy had deemed uninhabitable. They called us weak, she thought. They will learn the truth soon enough. As the fleet explored deeper into the expanse, strange phenomena began to occur. Ships detected unusual energy signatures and sudden gravitational shifts. At first, these incidents seemed like natural anomalies, but patterns emerged. Humans were not merely surviving, they were adapting faster than the galaxy expected. Their technology adjusted to unknown energy fields, their strategies evolved in real time, and their crews remained unbroken in the face of challenges that would have ended other civilizations' missions. Rumors of humans' capabilities reached other species. Traders, explorers, and scouts spoke of small, unarmed human vessels navigating asteroid belts that crushed alien warships, of research stations surviving storms that shredded the most advanced habitats. Whispers of the Deathworlders spread quietly, but with growing urgency. The story of humanity's resilience was only beginning. The galaxy had turned its back on Earth, but humans had already started to turn the galaxy's expectations upside down. They did not seek approval. They sought to prove their place through action, ingenuity, and survival. And as the stars stretched endlessly before them, the humans of Earth moved forward, ready to write the first chapter of a tale the galaxy would never forget.